In this video, I take oil painting further than I ever have before with this epic 3D technique. I normally do paintings on a canvas, obviously, most people do, but we're gonna revolutionize things today. And I might say, let's throw this out, but I won't because that would be a waste of materials and I'll probably still use in the future. But I will be using clear acrylic. And we're just starting with this one sheet. I have about 5 or 6 that I'm gonna build up from the background to the foreground, and then using this contraption, I'll be able to set the distance between them, hopefully creating a really dramatic parallax effect. And at the very least, it's gonna be an enjoyable experience because nothing quite like following along with Bob Ross. What do you got there, Bob?
This is a double primed pre-stretched canvas.
I don't have that, I'll skip that step. This is our first hurdle. Here's a coat of liquid white. I can't do that with every layer because that kind of means I can't do the effect. I'm gonna try doing a really thin coat of Spectrum Clear, which will hopefully enable me to do a little bit of that softer blending. It also might ruin the effect. I have no idea. This is all a huge experiment. So that feels like a really soft, subtle coat. Let's see if it works. All right, okay. He's using the white underneath to create the cloud effect. I can't do that.
Maybe we'll have a little water in here.
Oh dear, uh-oh. So this is where it's gonna get interesting, because water's in the foreground layer. Do you know what? We'll lay down that in the foundation. Maybe we'll see through to it. So like, let's just be better safe than sorry. The idea is the front layers are gonna cover that up.
If you've painted with me before, you know this is the fun part.
I know what's coming, Bob.
Just beats the devil out of it.
Yeah, it's out. Okay, let's go. That's layer number 1, done. Fluffy clouds, next layer. I'm sort of nervous now. Look how quickly this shows. Like I've got nothing to blend with, and it's just like, ah, I'm a cloud! Ah, I'm a cloud! His looks so soft. With mine, you can see every bristle scraping the paint. I can't like blend it back into the blue. There's no blue. Calm down. Channel your Bob, Jazza. That's my cloud layer. Question is, does it work? Okay, now we've just gotten started. My assessment so far, this is fun, but nerve-wracking. It's hard to undo. This work I put into painting these clouds and trying to make them look not scratchy, all that's done for you with my digital brush set, which is multi-platform compatible, has 83 brushes, including texture and effect brushes like clouds and mountains. And in fact, there's so much in there that would work perfectly for this. So what you're looking at is Alicia in the period of 1 hour doing this exact same challenge using the digital brushes that we made together. They're compatible with Photoshop, Procreate, and more, and you can get them in a bundle with a guide for how to digitally paint from start to finish, and the brushes do the heavy lifting. Check out my digital brushes and everything else on the JAZZA'Sstudios.com shop, and if you use the code JAZZMEUP, you can get 10% off of any purchase. Ah, look at that. I'm feeling like a real painter now. Let's get back to the challenge. All right, I think it's time for the mountains.
Mountains grow in all kinds of shapes and colors. You're restricted only by your imagination.
It looks quite dark because it's so opaque. What happens if I do this? Yeah, you can see a bit of that color popping through, but it almost looks black. I think that will be mitigated by this next step of following what he's doing here, dragging it out. So I'm really struggling to pull it because he said because it's wet. It is if you're working on the same layer. Mine's not. But I do have this goop, this Spectrum Clear, which is basically oil paint without the paint. And that will wet this up for me.
This was a dry canvas. You'd be in Agony City right now.
Did you hear what he just said?
This was a dry canvas. You'd be in Agony City right now.
He's got this great texture, and I'm nervous that that texture comes from the canvas. Let's see. Oh, it's something. I'm gonna switch over to a completely dry, clean brush and just try and blend this bottom area in. I think that's the mountains done. Let's put it in the mix. All right, everybody, Cross your fingers, because this is starting to really happen. All right, one after the other, we're getting there. I've just rewound because this next moment from Bob is kind of perfect for this video that we're doing.
And these different layers are planes. Once again, this is what causes a depth in your painting and really makes it look good.
Let's see how it looks. Oh, am I a bit low? I'm a bit low. It's fixable. Scrape it off. And now that I've already done it once, I can knock this out pretty quick. And now we get to do this put the layer down thing again, as if I never did that previous one. This whole thing reminds me of animation. So while you think of animation as being done on paper and they sort of flick the pages back and forth, that's how they capture the motion and test it. It was also hand painted on transparent cells, which were layered on top of different layers of cells for the background. And in fact, Disney invented a multi-layered transparent cell machine that they took the photographs with to create exactly this. We're just doing it with a painting.
Straight into the canvas, push very firmly, and just cut in a happy little waterline.
Oh my God, this goes down so freaking quick. Oh no. All right, I'm just gonna have to scrape that off. Oh no. Put it back on. Oh no, it's mixing with the light. Go back. Do what I want, not what I'm telling you to do. He's got this clear silhouette tree line, which is annoying me because I don't have that. And I feel like it's gonna really matter. Let's fix it. Let's just grab this. I know this is not the order to do it in, but I'd rather try and have something than not have anything there. This is hopefully gonna be really satisfying, but I'm getting more anxious by the layer. All right. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. All right, this is the last acrylic layer. It's making me nervous. Boop, boop. This step is just adding so much pop. I absolutely love it. I think this is the moment of truth. I think this is almost perfect. There's just two things I want to do. One, take out my mountain, put a reflection here. If there's a mirror and you're reflecting something, it will be at the depth of what it's reflecting. So if I'm doing a mountain reflection, it's got to be at the distance of the mountain. So let's put this back where it was. Ooh, there we go. And the second thing I want to do is do what Disney would do. Bring it to life, do some characters and animation. But before that, let's enjoy the payoff. The weirdest thing with the reveals is like they look really cool when like we film in professional like that. Funnily enough, it looks cooler in person like this, just to candidly just turn it and you like see that 3D effect so like intensely. It's really cool. But you be the judge of it. Let me know in the comments how it went. Leaving a comment and liking the video goes a long way to helping us make more of this for you. Oh my God, this entire landscape has really come to life.
It sounds like I can overhear someone enjoying the true joy of painting.
You're Bob Ross? I'm speechless.
It's magic. And speaking of magic, remember, this is our world. We can make whatever we want.
Well, what, like trees and mountains?
That's just child's play. No, I mean like this giant squirrel I made who devours the bodies of my enemies.
You made a giant flesh-eating squirrel?
Of course I did. What do you think I'm hiding in all those cabins I painted?
So I could make a giant cyborg Godzilla with hair as cool as yours?
Now you're getting it.
Oh, wow! I love painting. We've really brought some stuff to life here, and if you want to see more ridiculous or wonderful things brought to life, make sure to subscribe. Until next time, happy painting.
painting.
It's so lifelike.
Oh boy.